So this is it. You're finally going to ditch your old country and make the big move abroad. What's up guys, it's Greeny, and in this video, I'm hoping I can help some people out. My buddy Charles, he's been on my channel a few times. He's getting ready to make the big move out to Thailand, and he's like, Greeny, what do I got to get done? I got like a couple months before I move out. Like, what are the most important things I need to get done before I make the move? So I was like, you know what? Good idea for a video. I've done a similar video in the past. I'll link it at the end about taking a trip abroad. But this one's more specific to somebody that's moving abroad, somebody that is moving long term and going to be living abroad. I know a lot of my current subscribers and viewers have already made the move overseas, and if you guys wouldn't mind, help a brother out. Let me know if there's anything I missed. Like, make a comment, because I know, I tried to think. My friend asked me, and I'm like, I made a list. I listed some things, but I'm sure I missed a ton of things. So just leave me a comment. Let me know what I missed, so that people watching this video that need the information read the comments. Maybe you'll get some more information. The first thing is obviously to decide where you're moving. Now, you want to move somewhere where it's not going to be a problem getting a visa, because a lot of different countries have different requirements on who can get a visa. Like the Philippines, you need far less money than, say, Thailand, and say maybe Malaysia, you need even more money. Then you got countries like Vietnam where you can only get like a 3-month retirement visa. So figure out what will be the easiest place for you to get a visa for as long as you want to stay. Also, a big point of concern in Thailand has been some new tax law that's happening. Make sure you get the right visa. Like me personally, I have the LTR, long-term resident visa. It's a 10-year visa, and as far as I know, I'm exempt from this whole tax scheme. Am I sure about that? No, because every day I hear new things and people are constantly asking me questions about that. But make sure you understand any tax implications you're going to have in your new country. Like I said, the ease of getting a visa, that'll put us right into number 2. How are you going to finance your new life in this country? Are you planning on working? Are you somebody that wants to move somewhere and work? Well, like for instance, where I live in Thailand, not everybody can get a work permit. If you're here on a retirement visa, technically you can't work. If you have the visa that I have, the LTR there, you can work. So make sure you get the right visa, and make sure the thing that you want to do, you're able to do it. If you're a barber or a hairstylist, a country like where I live, Thailand, you can't do that. You can't take any jobs away from Thai nationals. You have to be doing something specific. Say you're a chef and you specialize in Swedish cuisine. Well, a Thai person probably doesn't know how to do that, so you could probably get a work permit for that. So it's that type of thing. But there's certain things here, like a tour company, hairdressers, taxi driver, many things that you just can't do. So make sure you got that covered. Another thing is, like, are you counting on Social Security? Make sure that you can receive it in the country you're going to. Now, a lot of people will just have it deposited in their home country and then transfer money over. That's what I would do. It is what I do. But some people want to just break all ties and move somewhere. So if you were to, for instance, move to Vietnam, you can't get your Social Security there. They won't transfer it there. A lot of my viewers are from Great Britain. Like, when they move somewhere, their pensions, it's like Social Security for them, are like cut. There's no like cost of living allowances. It doesn't go up. Like, so they're like, over years, they're making far less money than they would be if they would have stayed in their home country. So definitely look into all that. Make sure that's not going to cause you any problems when you make the move. If this type of information is helpful, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that, and that seems to always push the video out a little further. Number 3 is look into your insurance. A lot of people have insurance. Like personally, I have Blue Cross, and I'm like, oh, there's Blue Cross Global. It doesn't cover everybody, but I contacted them. They do cover me in Thailand, where I live now, but they don't cover for certain countries like Colombia. When I was kind of looking into Colombia, the Blue Cross Global did not cover you there. So if you have existing insurance in your home country and you think that you're going to want to use that in your new country, make sure that it'll work there. Make sure you're going to be covered. A lot of times you just, you'll pay and then you can get reimbursed. That's the easiest way to do it. Like my insurance, for instance, I have an app, and I get a bill, I just scan a picture of the bill and send it in and get reimbursed. No problem. But make sure that your insurance is going to cover you. And if you don't have insurance, insurance is an important thing. Bad things can happen. Bad things can happen, and you never know when it's going to happen. Make sure that when you initially make the trip, you get travel insurance. Make sure you're covered every step of the way when you get here or get wherever you're going to be. Make sure you price out different insurances and get something that's going to fit your lifestyle. Many countries have far less expensive health coverage as far as going to the hospital, getting things done, and you usually will pay out of pocket. But if something serious happened, you definitely are going to want to have a policy to cover you there. Number 4, kind of back to finances, but more specific information about the best practices when you're overseas. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep most of your money in your home country? That's what I would recommend. I'm no expert, but I just transfer money over when I need it. I have personally a Charles Schwab ATM card. It's like an investor checking account I opened. I have some of my money direct deposited into that, and then I just use the ATM here. They waive the fees every month, like any of the transaction fees. They reimburse me. I guess Fidelity has something like that. There's a Wise credit card. They may do the same. I'm not sure, but as far as Wise goes, I do use that service all the time. It used to be called Transferwise. Now it's Wise, and that's my go-to for transferring money. They just raised the rates a little bit. I think for me to transfer $1,000 to Thailand, it cost me about $10 in fees, but the exchange rates are very good. They give you a great exchange rate. If you're interested in Wise, there's a link in the description. I have a link that will give you, I think your first transfer will be free. So go ahead and take advantage of that if you want. Another thing to be aware of is not all credit cards are created the same. Make sure you have one of those kind of travel credit cards that waive foreign transaction fees, because some credit cards will charge you like 3% every time you do a transaction overseas. So you don't want any of those type of cards. There's tons and tons of travel related credit cards. Just look into it. If you want miles for say like United for Airlines or IHG for credit cards, go ahead and do that. I do have links in my description for those two, and I think if somebody signs up, they'll give me some points, so use mine. Number 5 is kind of remember, depending on what country you're coming from, you're still going to have to file income tax maybe in your home country. In America, we have to do that. So, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt overseas. I mean, first couple of years, I used TurboTax and just did it online myself. I have some more complicated things. I have a accountant in America, so everything's pretty easy now. Everything's digital. You can do everything online. You can sign documents, everything. But if you think you're going to be using an accountant, just make sure you let them know you're moving overseas. Get everything kind of set up in advance, and so you don't have problems when it comes to, in my case, April 15th. I don't know other countries. Another idea is if you're totally ditching your old country, kind of like I did for the last few years, why pay state income tax? So in America, you pay state income tax. If you're not living in that state, if you're living abroad, you don't have to pay state income tax. Get rid of them. Cut them out. You don't need to pay that. Number 6, always a good idea to go see your doctor before you come. Go see your dentist, your eye doctor if you're blind like I am. Get everything kind of taken care of before you go, because when you come to a new country, it may take you a little while to find a doctor, find a dentist, to figure out how things work. You may want to stock up on any medications you take. So, generally, I don't know if you can bring 30 days or 90 days in. I bring a year's worth in. I've never had anybody say anything. Usually when you're in, say, America, you can get like a 90-day script. Well, that's what your insurance will pay for. You can go get a full year's worth of medication, and what they do is each day you can get 90 more days. So what I did is there's some apps called like MedRx and different things like that. Just put on prescription app and just look that up, and you can save tons and tons of money on your prescription medication and have your doctor write out a year's worth. and you can just go get like in 4 days 4 90-day doses or whatever, and you're good to go with a year's worth of medication. Another thing is some medications that are like over the counter aren't available in other countries. For instance, what is that called for like sleep, like melatonin, something like that. They don't sell that here in Thailand. So when I go to America, I usually will bring back a bottle of that in case occasionally I want to get a really good night's sleep. Or I think ibuprofen isn't even that big here where I live. So usually I maybe bring back some ibuprofen as well. But check into the country you're going, see what over-the-counter medications are available. I'm sure you can figure that out online, and just plan accordingly. Number 7, very important one, you're going to want to get an international driver's license. When you do that, if you ride a motorcycle or a motorbike or something, make sure that's designated on your international driver's license. And what this will do for you is when you go to get your license in another country, it just will make things much easier. You may not have to go to a certain class or take a certain test, or you may be able to just hand that in and get your license. Some countries maybe you will have to do everything. I know here it expedited things. I didn't have to take any type of class. Now, I didn't have it for motorbike, so when I got my motorbike license, I did have to go to like a 2-day class, and it was actually super easy and super fun and cheap, and they did all my paperwork for me. It was actually less than using an agent to just get the license. Like, they did all the paperwork, and I actually got to screw around on a motorbike for a day. But, very important thing to get if you're going to be moving abroad. Another story about that is I had a Thailand driver's license, and it's good for like they call it ASEAN, I think, like Vietnam and Cambodia and Myanmar, and it's no problem to like rent a motorbike or rent a car or something. But I was recently in Taiwan, and they wouldn't do it with my Thailand. They're like, you need an international driver's license, so you never know where you might be traveling to. It's always good to have that. Number 8, check your passport. Make sure it doesn't expire anytime in the near future. Some countries, it's got to be valid for like 6 months. Some countries you got to have a certain amount of empty pages when you enter. So just get a nice passport when you come. Like if you got a ton of pages used, you only have like 2, 3, 4 pages left, or it expires in like a year, even 2 years, and you're going to be gone for a while, just go get a new one. I recently got a new one. Just because I filled up a bunch of pages. I didn't have any pages left. I had to get a new one. And I did it here in Thailand. It was easy. I just mailed it into the U.S. Embassy, and they took care of everything. But something to think about doing, several months in advance before you're planning on leaving. Check that. Number 9, scan all your documents. Your birth certificate, all your credit cards, your IDs, your insurance information, your visa information. Any possible document you can think of that you may need that may be necessary somewhere. I guess you can put it up in the cloud and maybe it's secure. I don't know. I use a thumb drive with like a passcode. Many different ways to do it, but just make sure you have those documents. You don't want to carry a pile of papers like that. Just scan everything and just have it on one little thumb drive. Number 10, you're getting ready to go. You got a couple months. Are you moving? Are you selling your place? Like I have 3 or 4 guys I know here that literally sold everything and just moved here, sold their house, sold their car, sold everything. So you got a bunch of old clothes, you got tools, you may as well plan ahead, and maybe you can make some money, sell it on Facebook Marketplace, sell it on here, there, eBay, whatever. Have a garage sale, get rid of everything, get rid of as much stuff as you can. If you do got to get a storage area, the more shit you get rid of, the smaller storage area you'll need. So it's just less aggravation. Number 11, depending on where you're going, don't overdo it. Don't bring unnecessary items. Like in Thailand, like I think I've worn long pants like twice in 4 years or something. I don't know. I think I have 2 pairs of jeans and maybe 1 pair of khaki pants that I wear occasionally, but you're just not going to need to bring too much clothes here. One thing I did do is one time I went home, I bought golf clubs because, with, different fees for taxes and this and that, they're actually kind of expensive here. It was cheaper for me to just buy them in America and bring them here. So figure out, what you need, what's necessary, and don't overpack. Number 12, not a bad idea to learn some of the basics of the language, just some greetings, where's the bathroom, hello, goodbye, blah, blah, that type of stuff. It's been a long process for me. My brain does not retain things very well, but I'm getting there. I mean, a lot of the important things I'm starting to learn, and it does help. It does help. And the people, wherever you may live, kind of do appreciate when you try to speak their language. And the last thing, number 13, is keep your local home phone number. You know, whatever number you have, like, don't get rid of that. Personally, me, I pay for like 1 gig of data through Comcast, or I think it's Xfinity now. I have a plan because my son's on it, but I keep 1 gig for myself, keep my same phone number, and I get all my text messages, I get voicemails. When I get those SMS from like my bank or different things, they come right to my local American phone number. So it is kind of necessary to do that. You can do it through Google. I think it might even be free, I've heard, and I'm sure there's many other apps or ways to maintain your phone number from your home country. It's a pretty important one nowadays. Everything's through your phone. Just a quick video. My buddy asked me, so I figured I'm gonna put it out there for everybody. Hopefully this will help somebody. Make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know if you like the video. Give me a thumbs up. And please, please, please make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Greeny out.